Hi all, welcome to today's council meeting. We're going to be opening the M21 Planeswalker decks. So, if you're not familiar what's in here, there's the deck, one booster pack, and a code to redeem the deck on Arena. So we'll go ahead and start with Chandra here. Let's open the box right quick. So, Chandra, Flame's Catalyst. +1, it deals 3 damage to each opponent. -2, you may cast a red instant or sorcery card from your graveyard. And then if it would go into the graveyard, you exile it instead. -8, discard your hand, then draw 7 cards. Until end of turn, you may cast spells from your hand without paying their mana costs. That's going to be decent in Commander, I think. So, we'll just look at the decks first. We'll save the packs for the end here. Let's just kind of give an idea for what's in the decks. Ooh. So right off the bat, I'm seeing Chandra's Incinerator, which is kind of fun for Chandra decks. So this spell costs X less to cast, where X is the total amount of non-combat damage you dealt to your opponents this turn. So it's 1 red and 5. You're using a Chandra to deal 3 damage. That's going to reduce the cost by 3, so not terrible. So this is a 6/6 with trample, and whenever it deals non-combat damage to an opponent, it also deals that much damage to target creature or planeswalker that player controls. So basically, it has a similar effect, except it can also target creatures that Questing Beast does. Ooh, double vision to double. Chandra's Fire Maw, this is the one that tutors for the Chandra Flame Catalyst. Then we have some comments here. We'll try and find the specific Chandra ones in here. Here's the uncommon. Carol, keep disciples. Whenever you activate a loyalty ability of a Chandra Planeswalker, it does 1 damage to each opponent. This is going to be great in Commander, especially if you're playing a Chandra type deck. Then we have Stormcaller. When it enters the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to each opponent. That's okay. Mountains, mountains, mountains. Ooh, and we get one of the spicy Chandra mountains. Chandra M21 frames. Slaying Fire. And then we've got our arena code and back. So, I mean, not a lot to the deck itself, but not terrible. Let's do Lily next. Start with all the ladies here. Okay, so same contents as the Chandra. We'll pop it out and we'll see what's in the deck and save the pack for the end. Okay, pack off to the side. So Lilia Death Mage. +1, return up to 1 target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. -3, destroy target creature. Its controller loses 2 life. -7, target opponent loses 2 life for each creature card in their graveyard. I think that could pretty easily get broken. So you toss out a Massacre Girl just before you're ready to ult your Liliana here, and you fill the graveyard. So we got Standard Bear, another Demonic Embrace, Liliana Scorn. It's a bit high casting cost, but it tutors for the Liliana. Let's see. We can find the specific uncommons now. So Lilia Scrounger. At the beginning of each end step, if the creature died this turn, you may put a loyalty counter on a Lilia on a planeswalker you control. Not bad. Then you have Spirit of Malevolence. When it dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain the 1 life. That may not be too bad with Veto. And then, of course, Swamps. The alternative frame swamp for Liliana. And we've got the code, which I'm not going to show you because I really want to unlock these decks on Arena. Alright, let's go for Garuk right now. Might have to use my utensil here again to get it to open. These films are tight. Same contents. Let's see what's in it. All right. Save the pack for last. And we've got our Garuk Savage Herald. Reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, put it into your hand. Otherwise, put it on the bottom of your library for a +1. -2, target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to another target creature. -7, until end of turn, creatures you control gain. You may have this creature assign its combat damage as though it weren't blocked. That ult is going to be the thing that makes that a halfway decent card. So let's open this. I don't know if you're noticing a pattern, but there's also a rare card that goes along with each Planeswalker that's in the regular M21 set. Here we have Garuk's Harbinger. Primal Might, Garuk's Warsteed. Vigilance. When it enters the battlefield, you tutor for Garuk. Typical, Almighty Brushwag. My Spiky Boy. Let's see what else we can find. Pride Malkin's actually not too bad for a common. What it does with the +1/+1 counters is what makes it decent. Okay, here we have the uncommon Predatory Worm. So Vigilance, and it gets +2/+2 as long as you control a Garuk Planeswalker. Not bad. And then Wildwood Patrol. It has Trample. Yeah. Big Stompy. Trample. Then we have one of our alternative frames, ram through again, and a code. So let's do Teferi next. Let's see what Teferi has to offer. Let's open this up, and see what comes with Teferi's deck. I'm guessing we're going to get Teferi specific cards, like we've gotten with all the other Planeswalkers. Oops. Drop the Teferi. Okay. Let's open this and see what we get. Pack off to the side. So Stormwing Entity, so not a Teferi specific rare. Huh. Interesting. Well, the Teferi specific rare isn't one that's associated, that's not a creature, so maybe they're putting, oh, there's the Teferi specific rare. Teferi's Ageless Insight. Then we have Teferi's Wavecaster, Merfolk Wizard with Flash, and you tutor when it enters. Assorted other cards. Oop. Here is the uncommon. So Historian of Zolifer. Whenever it attacks, if you control a Teferi Planeswalker, draw a card. Not bad. Mystic Skyfish. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, it gains flying until end of turn. So I'm guessing there'll be you could do a lot of card draw synergy and have it work. And we get the cool alternative frame island. Not as much draw as I thought there would be. You got a few. You got Opt and Frantic Inventory. Then you have your code for the deck. All right. So for the last one, we have Basri, new Planeswalker for M21. So Basri comes from the plane of Amonkhet, and during the events of Amonkhet, Basri was not present. Because what had happened is Basri completed the rites of passage for Oketra, and in that joyous moment of feeling the excitement and the exaltation, Basri spark ignited and he planeswalked away. And by the time he came back, he saw what state his plane was in. So let's talk about Basri. So Basri, Devoted Paladin. Put a +1/+1 counter on up to one target creature. It gains Vigilance until end of turn. -1 whenever a creature attacks this turn. Put a +1/+1 counter on it. -6, creatures you control get +2/+2 and gain flying until end of turn. Honestly, I have to say the M21 regular Basri is a lot better. But that's typically what you see with these Planeswalker decks is they're okay, they're not the absolute greatest. They're introductory product. You can usually get them between 12 to 14 bucks. So we have the Basri specific card with Basri's Lieutenant. And we have Basri's Aegis. Put a +1/+1 counter on up to 2 target creatures, and you may tutor for Basri. Let's see. So, okay, they did this a little bit backwards. So they have the common first. So at the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control a Basri Planeswalker, put a +1/+1 counter on Adherent of Hope. That's pretty good. That could probably get gross pretty quick. Okay, Sigiled Contender. It has lifelink as long as it has a +1/+1 counter on it. Which, there's a lot of +1/+1 counter synergy going on in this deck. And then we have our Basri Frame land, which is just absolutely gorgeous, showing Amonkhet, Banishing Light, and we've got our code. Okay, so those are the decks. What's in these packs? Can we get something good? If we get a Teferi, I'm going to be happy. Oh, we've got a Experimental Overload in foil and a Garuk's Harbinger Alternative Frame. Let's put these up to the side. So not a terrible start. Oh, this pack does not want to open. Sometimes you get good stuff in here with the Theros Beyond Death one. One of them I got it came with an Uro. Well, I spoke too soon, so you have 9 lives. That's not terribly great. Unless you do something where you're not gaining counters. So, it's okay. Foil Sanguine Indulgence, and a Sporeweb Weaver, which I'm kind of thinking is pretty cool. I really want to put this in my Slimefoot deck, because that would really be helpful, I think. Make additional Saprolings, as if Slimefoot doesn't make enough. And then with Doubling Season, Parallel Lives, Primal Vigor, etc., yeah, you see where I'm going. And a Chandra's Incinerator. Wasn't with the Chandra, it was with the Liliana deck, so it's okay. It's not like completely, why would I get 2 of the same in one deck? No, it came with another one. But it's a pretty decent card. I think it'll likely see some play. Ooh, foil planes, and then a temple. Not as big of a fan of this Scryland cycle that they're doing. They do come in tapped. It's not as useful. Well, so here we've opened all 5 of the Planeswalker decks, shown you what they have, and opened the packs that came with them. So hopefully you've learned something today and that you've enjoyed the meeting. So we'll see you all at the next meeting.